So, this week we got into a little bit of an argument, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Off camera.
It got pretty heated.
We pissed each other off. It's interesting. It's all about music. All about music.
It's also all very petty, but
yeah, I was gonna say, wait, don't we?
Yeah,
get over music and pettiness.
So as you can imagine, me, Chaotic, as a metalhead, has certain viewpoints about perhaps the emo or the punk community, and likewise.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
right?
true.
And Mayhem also has some interesting opinions, and Groompy does too. Doesn't mean that we're wrong, but I mean, we think it's a great avenue for us to share with you all.
All right.
Who wants to start? We're going to call this segment Hot Takes.
Should I read the rules?
Let's do it. Read the rules.
All right. So, hot takes. We're playing sort of like a game. When someone gives a hot take, a person who feels very strongly against the hot take will try to refute them, and we'll have a battle, I guess. And the person who's sitting there listening can judge who won. And if you're listening online right now too, they can you can decide who won in the comments as well.
So if someone says their hot take, one person has very strong feelings against will raise their hand.
How about we just start with the band or the topic, and then we have somebody take
Kind of like Jeopardy.
Kind of like Jeopardy. I'll take that.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Who wants to go first?
Should we start with Mayhem?
Start with Mayhem.
All right.
Let's do it. Uh-oh.
Do you guys want to do Weezer or Nirvana?
Ooh.
I know how Groompy you feel about Weezer.
Oh, I love my Weezer.
Oh, let's do Weezer then.
Let's do Weezer.
Ooh, okay. I'll
take that battle.
Yeah, I will be judge.
My hot take is Weezer's not very good. And they've been riding the success of the Blue Album this entire time. And without the Blue Album, would have never made any mainstream success.
Oh, dang.
And as my evidence, I enter into the courts. The Blue Album sold 3.5 million copies. I actually have one in my room right now.
He's got receipts.
Pinkerton, 1.1 million. The Green Album, 1.2 million. Maladroit or whatever, 621,000. And Make Believe, 1.3 million. Those are the ones I actually counted. Combined, just above the Blue Album.
Okay.
Which one came first?
The Blue Album.
Blue's their debut album.
Blue Album. Second is Pinkerton.
Green is third.
I feel the steam coming from Groompy right now.
If you think about it, none of that, like he said, none of that would have happened if the Blue Album wasn't so good.
Okay, well, how many bands would have never been here if their debut album was not good?
Ooh, okay.
But if you think about most bands' debut album, what's the name of Nirvana's debut album? What's the name of Smashing Pumpkins' debut album?
I'm not that big fan of Smashing Pumpkins.
Bleach and Gish.
I will say, like, even Metallica, Kill 'Em All was not a resounding success until Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets came about. So I will give you that.
Look at Green Day. Kerplunk was their first record, right? Well, they had a record behind that. Their sample or whatever. But then Kerplunk, but then Dookie is really when they broke out.
Dookie's their first full length. They had Kerplunk was an EP.
Was it though?
Yeah.
Was it though?
Okay, name me a song from there.
We're getting in semantics here.
His whole
Welcome
point
to Paradise. Welcome to Paradise.
No, that was Dookie.
That was Dookie, wasn't it? Oh, we need a fact check. Mr. Producer.
She. 2,000 Light Years Away.
Ooh, we're getting.
If you're, well, but that's besides the point.
That's besides
let's go back to Weezer.
Okay,
all right, bring it back.
Let's do this. Okay.
How did this become a Green Day?
I need to flip my cap for this one. Okay.
All right.
Okay, flip caps for this one.
All right. I mean, there's no denying it. The Blue Album is one. I mean, I know for myself, it is one of the biggest albums in my life, but it is a cornerstone album in the rock industry.
It is.
There's no denying that.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Oh no, I admit that.
It just happens to be their debut album.
My Name is Jonas till Only in Dreams is just a perfect album.
In the Garage is my favorite song.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite Weezer song.
Without any of those songs, even the mainstream hits, Say It Ain't So,
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly, where would they be without those songs right now?
Hash Pipe.
But Hash Pipe isn't really that good.
It was
still a hit.
decent.
Okay, you're telling me Hash Pipe, Pork and Beans, and Beverly Hills are on the same level.
Island in the Sun.
I would listen to Island in the Sun.
Island in the Sun is the only single that people could tolerate off of Pinkerton at first.
All right, I have a rebuttal.
Pinkerton is honestly an underrated album. I will give them that. I will give them that. But still, without the Blue Album, you wouldn't. Pork and Beans is terrible. You have to admit.
There is one thing though. Island in the Sun.
Beverly Hills
is actually from the Green Album, isn't it?
Yeah, Island in the Sun is their #1 song. Double Buddy Holly and almost double Say It Ain't So.
I'm not saying
fact check.
I'm not saying it's a bad song. But what I'm saying is, without the Blue Album, Weezer would never have the same commercial success that they've had today.
All right, let's answer this question. Does any Weezer album sell over 1 million without the Blue Album?
I don't think so.
Does the Green Album sell 1.1 million if the Blue Album never came out?
Nobody would know who
Island in the
is.
Sun. Island in the Sun.
You think
such a great hit?
It is a great song. Don't get me wrong. But does it stand out from the songs that came out around the same time?
I know, I was a kid.
You just called us old.
I was a kid. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I will. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I get your point. I can't deny it. The Blue Album is just the way to describe it. You know, it's just the tip of the tip. It is their greatest.
It's quintessential.
It's quintessential. It's their greatest album. It's Weezer's greatest album. It just happens to be their debut album. But you cannot write 30 years of success off of one album.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I could see it if they're playing small shows where nostalgia, where over here Dee Snider or Twisted Sister playing, or the Scorpions playing, not selling. This is a band to this day that it sells out, that fills stadiums.
Okay, but do those people go to those shows to hear Africa or
I actually have
Pork and Beans, or I can't really name any other songs.
Like, they're there to hear Buddy Holly and Say It Ain't So.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one song. I think I remember the music video more than the song, but anyway,
so I think
Judge.
Okay,
let's hear your
I will
thoughts.
say, I like Weezer. I like a Weezer. Say It Ain't So is one of my top 5 all-time songs. It got me.
Yes.
It's just right there. It's that song wherever it comes on the radio randomly, like you turn it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you tell your kids, shut up. This is important.
Yeah, Daddy's having a moment.
I need this.
Share this with you.
Yes. But I get it. It's because if Weezer did not have the Blue Album, Island in the Sun would be a hit. But that might have been the only hit. I understand. Again, I love Weezer. Weezer, I love you. I love you. Awesome band. You guys are amazing. But I can understand having such early success is hard to really try to get back. Replicate.
Yeah.
That's why you have so many one-hit wonders, not just in rock, but in pop in general.
Yep.
You have so many one-hit wonders that had 1 or 2 maybe good hits, and it's hard to replicate that success early on.
Yep.
It's just hard in general. So I understand. As much as I hate to say it, I think Mayhem's got a point.
Hey,
I have to agree.
Fuck you guys.
Again, we're not saying that
No,
it's a bad band.
I do get it.
They're
And
a great band.
like I said, the Blue Album, it is a quintessential album.
no.
It is just, if you're right, it would be very, very hard to replicate the success of that album.
I will do a sub hot take. Only in Dreams is the best song on that album.
Oh,
That is
I mean, I
their
love
best
the
song, in my opinion.
I just have a
7 minutes of awesomeness.
yes. I just have a really, really soft spot in my heart for In the Garage. Though.
Yeah.
It's a
In the
good one.
Garage is a
It's good
great,
one.
Yeah.
great song.
Sweater Song's also good.
Sweater Song is
Sweater
pretty
Song
good.
is
Sweater Song.
amazing.
I remember as a kid or when I was younger, the ending, the outro with the weird piano used to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I used to skip the next song.
We got a note
but
from the admin over here saying Surf Wax America is the best song.
Oh,
Surf Wax America.
Surf Wax America is a pretty good song.
our Madman's getting into
Yeah, he is.
getting into the fold.
Yeah, he
All right,
is.
okay.
Let's-
30 years later, and we were talking about Weezer.
No,
We're talking about
I
Weezer.
will say this. The Blue Album is one of the best albums, in my opinion, made
Thank you.
ever
Thank you.
in rock. And
Like
one of
I'm in the
the
band.
best.
Thank you.
one of the best debut albums ever.
Ever.
Well, you're
Yes.
But they're just a victim of their own success, I think. And that's why I
Exactly.
think they're so polarizing.
well. We want to hear your comments.
Yes.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
tell
You know,
us
you
what you
think-
guys think.
What do you think? If we pissed you off, please let us know too.
Yep.
Should we move on to Groompy?
Groompy.
Do you have
Groompy's
an
hot take.
equally
Groompy's
controversial
hot
hot
take.
take.
All right, let's see.
All right.
All right, what about
My hot take involves Paramore.
Ooh.
Oh,
Paramore.
this
I don't know.
Paramore is
your
close
band.
to Mayhem's
All right,
Club.
Mayhem.
I'll take it on. Let's do it.
I'll be judge again.
Okay.
All right.
I feel this is personal.
I
He
know.
was keeping this in the car. You know, he pissed off Weezer. Now he's going after Paramore.
Here we go.
Which I may say, I love Paramore.
Okay.
It was a good band. You know, it's still a good band that I grew up with. You know, epitome of my emo days. But Paramore just has not been good since their second album.
Their second album is Riot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I think we run into a similar Blue Album kind of
Yes. Yes.
situation here.
Which
This is the
I
perfect
have
run.
Riot, and then All That Is Falling, I believe, is their debut album.
I
Hold on, let me
think
check.
I think you're right.
But anything after, I mean,
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to bring out
You
the.
need receipts here.
I need receipts here. Hold on a second.
now, call me a, what did we say earlier? Call me a purist.
Purist. Okay, he's making his case, ladies and gentlemen.
Their self-titled album is really good though too.
That would be their fourth, right?
Yes.
There's only two
Or
good
fifth,
songs.
yes. Fifth.
There's only two good songs.
Was that Don't Cry to Your Mama?
No,
What's that one?
no.
It's Ain't It Fun?
Ain't it
Ain't It
fun?
Fun?
Ain't it fun? And
Still Into You?
Still Into You. Those are the only
Yeah,
two.
that's true.
I own that album too, as well.
Okay.
But there's only
Their-
two good songs there.
Their interlude has 100 million
All right.
streams as well.
Are you forgetting All I Wanted from Brand New Eyes?
Yeah.
Good song. Dude.
And then they have Decode, the
Okay, so
From-
what's so
From the movie, right?
from
yeah.
what's the Shiny Vampire?
Twilight
The Twilight
Twilight series, yeah.
the Twilight song. It's
Saga,
just,
the shiny vampires coming this summer.
I
So
mean,
you're saying nothing after Ride has been good.
But okay.
I'm not saying it hasn't been good. I'm just kind of like to your point with Weezer. They're just
Haven't. A victim of their own
a
success.
victim of their own success. It just
I get
has
that.
not. They peaked at Riot.
I think. Okay.
Groupie, somebody said you got to go straight to jail for that take.
Wait, what?
Somebody said you've got to go straight to jail for that take.
Oh, I mean, I'll stand by my take.
Okay.
Again, I love Paramore. First time I saw Paramore, 2007, was a stage at Warped Tour. They had 50 people in the crowd. 50.
Wow.
This is when their first album was coming out.
Okay.
I fell in love with them instantly.
Mhm.
I stood long line, like 5 minutes in their booth to get pictures with them and their signatures. Hayley Williams, I still have that picture somewhere in MySpace.
There you go. Does MySpace still exist?
No, I don't know.
Who knows?
But and I get it though.
Check, I guess. Who's going to do that?
1 year later, 2008, I come back to Warped Tour. they are headlining.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are the band to go see. Just from one year to the next, to go from literally 50 people in front of this tiny stage, we're like, oh yeah, to God, crowds, people pushing each other just to go. That's how important. That's what Riot did. That's almost overnight stardom.
All right, I have another rebuttal. So, if we want to compare this to Weezer, right? Weezer, outside of their Blue album, has only one song that has hit over 100 million streams on Spotify, and that was Beverly Hills. But Paramore has at least 10 songs that have hit at least 200 million streams.
Outside of Riot?
Outside of Riot.
This is what I'm trying to say, though, like...
But are they good?
Okay, so first off, Hayley Williams is incredible.
One of the best
of our generation.
Frontmen. Yeah.
Of our generation.
Just frontmen of our generation. Yes.
Look at
I get it.
Who she's performed with. Chino Moreno.
Yes.
Maynard from she's incredible.
That was a great collab.
Yeah, she is incredible. And I think she herself is just far more talented than Weezer as a band is.
Yeah.
Okay, name her solo albums.
Ooh.
That's okay. Now but to answer to your, I think you're right in that they're a victim of their own success, but I think this happens with bands a lot. You get used to a sound. And this happened with Weezer too, with the Blue album. The Blue album's like nerd rock or
nerd garage
rock, right? What was Paramore when they came out? It was like
epitome of emo,
female Lincoln or female Limp Bizkit kind of thing. Like they fit kind of like a
female Limp Bizkit.
No, like they're trying to form like a female new metal-y kind of thing, which they never were. And I think people are trying to listen to that Paramore or that Weezer, but when bands eventually grow and evolve, they're gonna sound different, which they do. The last album, I guess single that they had a couple of years ago, it's very good. It's just not the same Paramore.
It was last year. Their latest album. It was last year.
Yeah, that's what you get, right?
No.
I got it right here. It's This Is Why.
That's what I was trying to.
This is why.
And then the one before that, that pink one,
After Laughter.
Yeah. It sounded very 80s like music. Again, I've listened to it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's just
they haven't been the same.
They peaked since Riot. And I mean, again, call me a purist. That for me, that was peak. I was 18, 19, 20 during that time. And it was one of the albums one of the first albums I bought, to be honest. It hasn't been the same. And then they had a lot of turmoil since then too, with people leaving, coming, calling each other nasty names.
Well, they won't.
Like people leaving the band, calling each other nasty names, and people coming back to the band. But
did that affect the music though?
All right.
I think they might be a victim of that as well.
That's true.
I mean, interpersonal issues happen in bands. I mean, with Deftones, there was Saturday Night Wrist. Yeah. They're arguably one of their better albums, but a lot of turmoil. I think that might have been part of it. Like, I get what you're saying. I just disagree. I disagree.
After the Weezer argument, I understand you. I understand you.
Both of you guys had the same argument for both bands.
Yes, you did. I think we do have the same argument for both bands. I'm gonna have to go check my my fanboy.
Okay. Okay. I will make a ruling. I side with Mayhem on this.
Oh,
I just the numbers that Figured pulled up. Just the numbers that Figured pulled up about how many listens, and like I think when you pick up, we can talk about album success, but we're talking about like commercial, taking each song at a time. They've had hits after Riot.
Yes, they have, but for like 2 more albums, 3 more albums.
Their top 10 only has 3 songs from Riot.
Ooh.
It has 3 songs from
It's gonna be
Brand
the
New
Paramore?
Eyes, 2 songs
Brand New
from their
Eyes?
self-titled, and then
then
Hard
the
Times
Dakota.
from their new one.
All right.
Anything past? Oh, sorry. Anything past probably like 2014
So who has?
is not there.
So who
No,
has
their
the
Hard
more?
Times from 2017 had 483 million streams.
So who has the more dedicated fan base though? Because I think that's.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
a different
kind
hot
of
take.
where.
I mean,
That's a different hot take.
I think that's. I think we're getting. I think that's what we're getting into is the fandom.
Yeah.
Because the fandom can either make you or break you. If
True.
they want the Blue
True.
album, they're only going to buy the Blue album. If they want Riot, they're only going to buy Riot, right?
and I'll be. I mean, I've had this hot take with friends that grew up in my generation. You know, right when emo was coming up. I'm always wrong in everyone's eyes because, you know, Hayley Williams, especially like Paramore, Hayley Williams is just like it's a figure. It's untouchable.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Don't you mess with Hayley
You cannot
Williams.
talk bad
Well,
about
she's,
him.
she's kind of an enigma for the era that she was in, though. You have to
That's-
kind of admit
that's
she
true.
stands out as an artist.
Yeah. Well, just like Weezer, Paramore, there was nobody like Paramore at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was nobody like them. And so they,
Shout out to Hey Monday.
There hasn't been in since.
and there hasn't been it since. I mean, how when you think about it.
All right, I have another question that
Okay.
could also help the judge in deciding I made another question is Weezer better than Paramore all time? Would the judge buy more Weezer albums or more Paramore albums?
It depends who the judge is.
It's him.
Based
Me,
on
judge?
yeah, you the judge. On the arguments that they gave just now.
I don't like myself for saying this, but probably Paramore. Because
You know, I brought up the argument, but you want something?
yeah, I know. Okay,
I only have the blue and green album, and I think I have.
you know,
I have
like,
Brand New Eyes, I have Riot, and I have the
So-
self-titled Paramore.
yeah.
So
Okay, so I think you just rebutted your own argument there.
I blew up his
I
own
don't stand by
argument.
my argument.
I think we have the same argument, just
Different bands.
different bands at
Different
different
bands.
scale. So
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna have to go listen to all these.
I know, now we have to go listen. Which, by the way, here at RockMental, we love both Weezer and Paramore.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong. It's a
Oh,
hot
no.
take. It's a hot take, but I have 3 albums.
Yeah.
I love Paramore.
I love Paramore. The Casa Mayhem has all of the records. I only own the Blue album though for Weezer.
for Weezer.
Maybe it's a matter of taste. I don't know.
My
Maybe.
mini Groompy, my daughter, belts like 90% of Paramore songs that she can hear because
Yeah.
it's played that often in my
Yeah.
household as well.
Mini Groompy and Mini Mayhem are jamming Paramore.
Paramore right now.
When I walked in, they were actually had the Riot album. on.
Oh,
so
there you go.
at least they had the good one.